Hello, my friends. My name is John Henry Sheridan, and I am sharing about my life. I'm sharing my creativity with the world 30 days in a row. Today is 14 of 30. You can see my eyes are a little tired. Yep, but I'm trying to get some rest, trying not to demand too much of myself. On my to-do list today, I wrote, be the tortoise. You know, like the tortoise in the hare. All right, I got my friend Vlad Voronin tuning in from Moscow. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate that. So as you can see, on the screen I have a piece of artwork from one of my favorite bands of all time called Amorphis. This is not my artwork. I don't think they're gonna get mad at me for promoting them. One of my favorite bands. And I'm going to read you the lyrics of one of their songs because it kind of sums up the theme that I want to talk about today, which are my fears. I also want to talk about what encourages me to keep going. All right, Vlad says he's going to invite his friend. Thank you, Vlad. Please do. Appreciate it. So I'll give it a second there before I read the poem. And I want to discuss my fears because I think, who knows how far our reach can go. I have to believe in myself because I have just as much potential as any other human being. And I know some human beings really have an amazing reach. So I know I'm capable of that. So for those of you who can hear what I'm saying and hopefully be encouraged, inspired, or learn something from it. I do want to share that, it's not all about me posting a bunch of stuff and like having great energy all the time. I have a lot of fears. I have a lot of obstacles. I just don't tend not to focus on them, at least in what I display publicly, not as a way of hiding anything, but as a way of focusing on the positives so I can amplify that. The negative is there, no need to focus on it and magnify that. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I see another friend is joined on YouTube Live. Thank you if you're watching live, and if you're watching on the replay, thank you too. So, spasiba, my friends in Russia. So I'm going to read lyrics from a poem, or actually from a song by the band Amorphis. The song is called Cares. Now these guys growl. It's kind of almost sounds like death metal, but it's not. I don't know how to describe them. I think they called themselves grindcore at some point, but I don't know. They're melodic death metal, melodic folk death metal or something like that. Very cool. They're from Finland. That's my son screaming. Happy screaming. So this is what the lyrics are to this song called Cares. Many rocks the rapid has, a lot of billows the sea. More plentiful are my cares than cones on a spruce, beard moss on a juniper, gnarls upon a pine bark, knobs upon a fir, husks on a grass top, boughs on a bad tree. Drag my cares away, carry off my griefs, for no horse can draw, no iron shod jerk, without the shaft bow shaking off the cares of this skinny one, the sorrows of this black bird. So, that's pretty, I think it's pretty deep. I'm not 100% sure what it all means. Hey, Platinum Hell Fox, thank you for joining in. I got a question there from Vlad, but it disappeared before I read it. Let me see if I can get that. Sorry, I missed your question, Vlad. But I'm going to just continue speaking about this. Basically, this person in the lyrics is saying that he has so many cares that it's uncountable. And he refers to all these things in nature that have multitudes, like more. I have more cares than a juniper has beard moss. I have more cares than a spruce has cones. I have more cares than the sea has billows. Incredible, right? For a death metal type of song, absolutely incredible. But I feel that way. My cares can be just overwhelming sometimes. So what are my fears? One of my biggest fears is if I don't attend to everything in my life, like equally, kind of, like if I don't achieve balance in all the areas of my life, with my health, my relationships, my spirituality, with my finances, with my career, that somehow, even if I make a lot of progress in one area, if the other ones I ignore, it's all going to just kind of like get out of balance. So that I'm afraid of that. So that colors the way I act every day. Another thing I'm afraid of is that my autobiography, which I'm working on, is just too convoluted and sort of complicated, and that it's going to require so much work before I publish it, and then I'm going to need an editor, and just thinking about all the work that needs to be done is overwhelming. And then will anybody even care? Will anyone buy it? So that's a fear of mine. Put all this work and then feel like, oh, what do I do that for? I have solutions. I have things that encourage me. I'm going to share that. But these are like fears that just pop up to me, Sometimes I fear that I'm just treading water, that I'm like not, I'm making a lot of busy work, splashing around, but I'm not getting anywhere, These are my fears. So I'm going to share 3 bits of guidance from Buddhism, because I do practice Buddhism, and I think these are very relevant to what I'm fearing, and maybe they can be inspirational to you. One of them is guidance for today. This is a 365 days of guidance by Daisaku Ikeda, a Buddhist mentor. And this is in light of Buddhism, but you could substitute it for anything, for life, basically. It is important to take a long-range view. No great achievement is accomplished overnight or without difficulty. Should benefit? No. Vlad asks if this is the Bible. No, this is a Buddhist collection of encouragement, daily collection. So it's not Christianity. It's Nichiren Buddhism, which I practice, and this is from a living person that wrote this, who's actually 90 years old now. Golden Lidoras. I'm not sure what that says, but thanks for commenting. Yes, it is important to take a long-range view. No great achievement is accomplished overnight or without great difficulty. Without difficulty. Should benefit be obtained easily without making any efforts in Buddhist practice, we'd probably just as easily abandon our faith and end up miserable as a consequence. Now, if you're not Buddhist, don't worry about how that applies, but think about it. If benefit is obtained too easily in anything that you do in life, you might end up miserable. Because it isn't, since it's not easy to get into a highly ranked school, students study with all their might, gaining an abundance of knowledge and ability. Volva, thank you for commenting. Faith follows basically the same formula. Practice is essential to attaining Buddhahood. So I read this as a Buddhist, but I think it's just guidance, that can be shared. It's important to take a long-range view. No great achievement is accomplished overnight or without some difficulty. And if we get things too quickly, like if we win the lotto, we won't have developed the muscle to learn how to make the most of our resources. So, posting a video every day, for example, is developing the muscle to create something, whether I want to or not, just because I made that vow, the commitment to take action. Another bit that encourages me is please remember that patience in and of itself is a great challenge. Patience is a great challenge, and that it often holds the key to breaking through a seeming impasse. Sometimes just being patient is the key. It's not that you're not doing something right, I'm not doing something right. It's that we have to just be patient, and then it will bloom at the right time. So that's about all, but I do want to share this one more quote here, which is from Nichiren Daishonin, the founder of this Buddhism that I practice, and it's about how it's important to see things through until the end. To stop halfway, we're cheating ourselves. Even if it's very dark and difficult to continue, just take that one more step, half a step. It says, the journey from, this is in Japan in the 13th century when he wrote this, the journey from Kamakura to Kyoto takes 12 days. If you travel for 11, but stop with only 1 day remaining, how can you admire the moon over the capital? So when we make a commitment, a vow to do something, if we stop on the day, in the last steps before we finish, we'll never, experience the victory that we deserve. It's up to us to just keep on going, taking one more step. So my message today is slow and steady wins the race. Be the tortoise, not the hare, from the fable. My name's John Henry Sheridan. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. And I will be back tomorrow with day 15 of 30. And I'm sorry, about KZ. I don't really know how to read Russian. I could read it. Golden. Sorry. I'll look at the comments later and I'll translate it and respond. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope to see you again soon. Spasiba. Have a good day or evening.